Switching gears over to tech, Microsoft is setting the pricing for its new Surface tablet computer. Will it compete with the iPad directly? Let's talk to Shira Ovide. She's in San Francisco with us. Hi, Shira. So the Surface is due out. The Surface is due out October 26th. You're getting some info on the pricing today. Walk us through that.
Right, so Microsoft announced today that the Surface, which is this new kind of tablet-like device they announced in June, to great fanfare but little detail, the pricing is going to start at $499, which you may notice is exactly the same price as the base level of the new iPad. We assume that's not a coincidence. The pricing starts to go up, however, for the Surface once you add on things like extra memory or this kind of attachable keyboard that doubles as a cover. That's one of the big kind of marketing points of the new Surface, that it's kind of more useful for work, in part because it has this kind of detachable keyboard.
Let's talk about that. I want to pick your brain on this as the expert on the tech sector here. I mean, I'm sitting here with my iPad right up here on set here, but I have gone out and bought. I had to go out, in addition to buying the iPad, buy a separate keyboard. I'm holding it up right here if we can take a look at it in a second.
Right.
You know, which I now then have to attach everywhere I go. Now, so that was another, with a case, another $150 I had to go spend just to be able to actually really use this for heavy word processing. Do you think this is going to be a compelling selling point for Microsoft?
I think that's still a big open question. The fact is, we don't know anything about the market demand for a device like the Surface. It's kind of a new device. As you said, a lot of people have tricked out their iPad with all kinds of add-ons like keyboards to make them more useful for work functions. Microsoft, I'm sure, Wendy, would love to sell you one of their Surface tablets with this detachable keyboard. That is $120 or $130, depending on the type of keyboard you get. So if you're buying a base price Surface at $499, that also doesn't have a tablet, this keyboard cover combo, so you're going to have to still shell out more money for that.
And Shira, let me interrupt you just for a second, because we have some breaking news right now. We're hearing that Apple on October 23rd is setting an event that we expect the company then be releasing or introducing the Apple Mini. Again, October 23rd. The iPad Mini. I misspoke there.
Right.
That's October 23rd.
I mean, this is the very interesting jockeying you're seeing among all these tech companies, that they're kind of announcing similar products all on top of each other. Right. We just had a new line of Kindle Fire tablets announced, and then the Surface pricing, and then this iPad Mini event that we've all been anticipating, which is launching, as you said, the same week that Microsoft is starting to sell the Surface. We can assume these are not coincidences.
Now, is Microsoft going to argue that its Surface is just more geared toward business tasks? Is that the market they're going to be going after?
Yes, I think it is still mostly a consumer device, at least in this first wave. But Microsoft officials make the argument that the iPad is simply not good enough, requires too many compromises, as they say, to be really functional as a full-featured computing device, particularly for people who need it for work purposes. And they like to say that their device is the only tablet-like device that's really good, not just for surfing the web or watching movies or other passive activities, but it's also good for getting work done. We'll see if consumers buy that argument.
Interesting. All right, Shira Ovide, more on WSJ.com and in the paper. Thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.